according to you, is sales a profession or a life skill? How many say life skill? So that means everybody else. Nahi, thoda pura hath ya. Okay. And remaining say profession. Who all say profession? So third option is not there at all. It can be both, absolutely. So some of you who said it's a life skill, why did you say it's a life skill? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else wants to?
In day-to-day life, we are selling one and the other things.
Yeah.
Not in terms of products, but in terms of our ideas, in terms of our perspectives.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Product, service, or idea. So that's the reason Professor Chand was reading now. There are 7.7 billion sales owners on the world, because each one of us is either selling a product, service, or an idea. So typically, this book, as it says, one sales strategy to create epic sales in business and in life, that is a drift which it has taken, where it harnesses sales as a life skill. Okay. So where is the mouse? We are talking about sales we are in the session of sales. So let's understand, what does the word sales means?
I have been a bit concerned about the negative perception on sales. Very often, sales is associated with used car salesmen, isn't it? Somebody who is sleazy, pushy, aggressive. I was recently talking to a business school professor, and he shared something very interesting. He said very, very few students apply for sales job while doing their MBA. I was talking to a CEO and he said, sales वालों को थोड़ा तो झूठ बोलना चाहिए. Another senior executive said, sales वालों को जुगाड़ू होना चाहिए. As I reflected on these negative vibes, I was looking for an answer. What does the word sales truly represent? And I found my answer in a morning meditation. The word sales represents S for serve, A for authenticity, L for love, E for expertise, and S for smile. Serve with authenticity, love, expertise, and smile. Serve. Imagine if sales owners start seeing sales as an act of service. Authenticity. There is no faff, there is no lie, there is no jugaad. Authenticity. Love. Love for the product, love for the company, love for clients. Expertise. Imagine when a sales owner is an expert in the area or the product or service which he or she is representing. Will it not serve the customers better? Smile. This always works. Do all of the above while smiling. When we combine these things together, serve with authenticity, love, expertise, and smile, we get the true spirit of sales. Thank you. I have been a bit concerned.
Okay. So just to give you some context. So this video which you saw, this is actually the epilogue of the book. So when you finish the book, there is a section called epilogue. So when I had finished the entire book, the book is that one strategy is use case selling, which actually can't be taught unless there is a business school course or you read the book completely, or there is a detailed workshop, So when I had finished it, I was reflecting on this question, what is the spirit of sales? And then it came, I was not able to finish my epilogue for several months. Then it came, in a meditation ki uska matlab ye hai. So that is that if you read the book or if you check out the book, this is how it ends. So the book actually has one Maha Accelerator, which is use case selling. That is the entire book. It is all about one surprisingly powerful strategy. That one accelerator can be subdivided into 25 others. So there are 26 accelerators in this book, out of which we will be discussing 3. Okay. So these are the metaphors, magic of one thing, and are you selling to the buyer or to a user? Okay, let's start with metaphors. Metaphor, from a definition perspective, it is a figure of speech that equates two dissimilar things for the sake of comparison or symbolism. Is it too much English? Huh? Just the simple word is comparison, or you represent the word symbol. Let's look at the example. We are using metaphors all the time. You are my sunshine. कौन बोलता है? मदर, एब्सोल्युटली. और बाकी और लोग कुछ अलग हंसी हंस रहे हैं. बोलो यार. See, in my session that Q&A doesn't happen because this is how it will go. The Q&A and this, it is conversational. और कौन बोलता है? Excellent. वैसे भी हो सकता है आजकल, है ना? हाँ, वाइस वर्सा. हाँ, या एब्सोल्युटली, बिल्कुल. ये कौन बोलता है? और ये बड़ी जल्दी उत्तर है. हाँ. सो ये पेरेंट्स भी, मदर, अगर 2 बच्चे हैं, मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं, तो एंड देन लेट्स क्रश इट गाइस. ये कौन बोलता है? Yeah. What did you say? Team leaders, sales leaders, CEOs. Right? What are these? These are metaphors. They are used so often that we don't even, realize that they are being used. Abhi, this is not only in normal life. Look at US, where US President Ronald Reagan in 1981 said to highlight $1 trillion debt. He says $1 trillion would be stack of $1,000 bills 67 miles high. If you see, remember the word definition said symbolism and comparison. Whether it is cats on dogs, whether it is sunshine, or whether it is, $1 trillion 67 miles high, it is the play of only comparison. Clear till now? अब इससे पहले कि मैं before we show somebody who has a view on this, what do you guys think? Is using metaphors a sign of genius? Aristotle क्या बोलते हैं? The greatest thing by far is to be a master of metaphor. It is the one thing that cannot be learned from others, and it is also a sign of genius, since a good metaphor implies a intuitive perception of the similarity and dissimilar. Last 3 lines might be little over the top. As you will go through this book talk, and as I have gone through, this is the most easiest form of storytelling. Storytelling is an overrated skill. I mean, I conduct a session called Magic of Storytelling separately, but within that, the major portion is this. Of course, right now we have 40-45 minutes. I'm saying, if you get just metaphor, your ability to influence people and get things done, not only in personal life, we will take B2B complex because we are in business school, correct? Okay. So how does it work? Basically, when I was researching, I found there are only 2 words. It's like or is like. If you use these 2 words, you can create metaphors. So there's a 3-part structure. Take a situation, choose the point of comparison. Remember the definition, comparison or symbol. Choose that. Take the situation, choose the symbol, and join them using the word it's like. Let's take an example. So this is all the examples which I'm sharing. Okay, let me ask you, what is the difference between a story or an experience? If you have to share one difference between what is a story or an experience, what would you say? क्या बोला? Exactly. So generally, very rarely I use word story. वो उसमें concoct कर सकते हैं. I use the word experiences. So anything which you see or hear, either here or in the book, it is an experience. Actually, 42 experiences are there in the book. So this is a situation in Mumbai. I go to a client, a big bank, around 8 years before, a big bank, and they had a very, let's say, top 3 software companies globally in customer experience there. Of course, we'll not take names. And I asked them, and we were a new age startup. I'm a startup sales specialist, so I represent startups. So I was working for a startup and we had a competing software, of course, new age. I asked them, how is your experience? This company is so great. Whatever that company A, let's say, is so great. What is your experience with that company? See what he said. Read the line. Amit, it's like driving a Ferrari in SV roads of Mumbai. I use narrow lanes here because not everybody understands SV roads of Mumbai. When I asked him, he was meeting me for the first time. I just asked, how is your experience? He said, it's like driving a Ferrari in SV road of Mumbai. Now, what will you get when you hear such things? Let's say if you are a salesperson, if you hear this, what would you get?
He has got something which he is not able to use.
Not usable. That is absolutely great. Anything else?
Not user friendly.
Not user friendly. Yes. Huh? Too tough. Absolutely. It is not solving. एक और चीज है. Exactly. पैसा बहुत लग गया. Ferrari use किया है. I mean, I can't capture his face. Very senior executive, but the metaphor does its best in capturing his pain. 3 साल से पैसा लगा दिया. पर देखो कितना बोलना पड़ रहा है. I have to speak so much. But the metaphor, when he says, it's like driving a Ferrari in SV roads, I mean, done. So what did he do? Situation, if you see, situation was experience of using software from a global company. Comparison symbol was Ferrari in narrow lanes of Mumbai. And what did he do? He joined. Are you? We will do 2 more examples, How can we use Amitabh Bachchan or Warren Buffett as a metaphor? सभी के महानायक, हाँ बिल्कुल. उसको मेटाफोर में कैसे यूज करेंगे? First of all, sorry, is everybody okay with, no, is anybody not okay, doesn't understand Hindi? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, you were saying? Somebody. What is it? Okay, yeah, that could be, yeah. What else? Absolutely. Yeah. So what is the quality with Amitabh? What are the qualities associated with Amitabh? Successful. Yes. Iconic. What is it? Height. Of course. Height. Yeah. Height. What else?
They get better as they go.
Exactly. Longevity. If you see both of them, longevity, So in one of the examples, again in B2B, so there was one big bank in Asia, and what they were doing is they have bought a software from us, and they were asking questions to our team on something which they have not bought, nor we have. So just to be very specific, data enrichment, they have bought something on website personalization from us, and they were saying data enrichment capable. So as a good customer success manager, my team members will try to solve or find ways of helping the customer. But when you don't have that capability and you try to solve, what will happen? It will only, make the customer more unhappy, correct? And so I told them, you tell them it's not there. It's not, neither it is in scope nor we have. It didn't work. So in one of the quarterly business reviews, I went there and just change the name Ajay, so who was head of analytics, and he was saying, so I spoke to him in Hindi. अजय जी, आपको मूवीज अच्छी लगती हैं कि क्रिकेट? तो उन्होंने कहा दोनों ही। ठीक है। मैंने कहा आप अमिताभ बच्चन को सब जानते हैं? हाँ। मैंने कहा देखिए, आप जो काम करा रहे हैं वेबसाइट पर्सनलाइजेशन, उसके हम अमिताभ बच्चन हैं, और जो आप वो डेटा एनरिचमेंट करा रहे हैं उसके तो हम अभी न्यू कमर भी नहीं है। अब आपकी मर्जी। सिर्फ एक सेंटेंस बोला था, उसके बाद से ना तो उन्होंने ना उनकी टीम ने कभी हमको उस बारे में पूछा। So that is, I'm saying the storytelling, or the power of metaphor in getting things done. I can tell you, I can take 3-hour session only on metaphors, but right now we have to. Okay. Oh, sorry. So now this exercise you guys do. There is this is a client is in Kuwait, in Middle East. I think शायद कुछ लोगों ने आंसर देख लिया है शायद. The client is satisfied with quality but feels the software is overpriced. So I remember that meeting where the CIO was IT head, Indian CIO, and the main boss was the sheikh, है ना? और उसके चेहरे से यही सब दिख रहा था कि बहुत ज्यादा प्राइस कर दिया. तो क्या बोलो? तो आप कितने लोगों ने आंसर देख लिया? हाँ, तो आप लोग मत बोलना, ठीक है? आप लोग करो, प्लीज ट्राई. So you are a salesperson, correct? You are in a meeting room where you get this feeling. You are in a meeting with a client in Kuwait, to be very specific. Most of them are Indians. The people at senior officials who has the check are sheikhs sitting there in their attire, and you are getting this feeling. अब क्या करोगे? कुछ मेटाफोर बनाओ. ओके, ऑफ कोर्स. इसके ट्राई करने में कुछ नहीं, उससे क्या ना, व्हेन वी ट्राई at least some thoughts will come. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So ये जब निकला था उस समय, this is what our software is like Mercedes Benz at the price of Toyota Corolla, and I could see that person was smiling. Suddenly so much tension because we've never known a person. I mean, we were talking to all the other guys. Here is the person who has the check. Okay. So the usage of these metaphors, as you might have noticed, different countries. I have been blessed to be working in 23 countries internationally in sales, correct? So I have seen this thing, metaphor. If you use the right metaphor, if you use Amitabh Bachchan in a country where they, then it is. So therefore, observed. I have put Warren Buffett because he's a global. Even in Malaysia, if you use Warren Buffett, people are likely to relate. Is this clear? Up. Iska uttar do. Why metaphors are so effective? Relate. Okay.
There is already an image in the mind that I can immediately relate.
Okay. आपने बोला? Yeah. Lot of information in a very simple and concise. Anybody else?
Text complex, things simple.
लोग तो उस्ताद हो यार, आपको यहाँ आना चाहिए. आप लोग उस्ताद हो, बहुत सही. हाँ, एनीबडी एल्स? आपने बुक पढ़ी है क्या? ये बहुत सही. ये जो चीज है ना, what I realized when I was telling you storytelling is an overrated skill. I realized that the reason metaphor works, it creates visual and stories instantaneously. And as like for example, if we say you are my sunshine, sunshine. अमिताभ बच्चन, anything which you, narrow lanes of SV Road of Mumbai, दिमाग वहां चला जाएगा. You understand? So it's a very powerful skill. I would encourage you to learn more about it. I hope that this has given you the 3-part structure. Take a situation, choose a comparison symbol, and use the words "it's like." Okay. So we'll go to the second accelerator, which is magic of one thing. Before I go to the next slide, सुना है one thing के बारे में? हाँ, सुना है किसी ने? किसी ने भी नहीं. ओके. Pareto principle के बारे में सुना है? What is Pareto principle? 80-20. सबको पता है? नहीं पता. थोड़ा आप बताओ सबको.
It's like 80% of our outcomes come out 20% of the, so it's a 20% of our efforts brings out 80% of the outcome. Similarly, 80-20 division.
Yeah. Thank you. So 20% of sales people give 80% of revenue. 20% of customer give 80% of results. 20% of people in a country have 80% of wealth. In fact, it was started at that point of time in Italy by the person who did research. He said 20% of people had 80% land. That kind of research is started. It's a 20-80 rule. So समझ में आया सबको, है ना, कि भाई कम चीजों पे फोकस करने का, है ना. 20-80 रूल हुआ है कि कम पे करोगे तो उसी से ज्यादा होता है. One thing अब क्या है कि let's take example, your CEO has asked you to find 100 reasons to improve sales. Okay, you sit with your team, you find 100 reasons, then you apply Pareto principle on that. How many will come? Out of 100, you apply Pareto principle. How many will come? 20. Correct? Because 20, you say these are the most impactful. Now again you apply Pareto principle. How many will come? No. On 20 you are applying 4. Now again you apply. How many will come? 0.8 or 1. So the one thing, it is actually, this is the book which changed my life. The one thing. If you notice this book, it says one surprisingly powerful strategy. It is all influenced through this book, the one thing. I read this in 2017 December. It's changed my life. And as per mathematical research, 20-80 का जो फंडा है ना, 20% things do 80%. When you keep applying that, अभी प्रूफ करना मुश्किल होगा, मेरे पास टाइम कम है. 1% is equal to 51%. It was a very famous quote from Microsoft CEO. It is surprising to see that 1% of bugs gave 51% of errors. So that power of one thing, एक चीज पे फोकस करना. 20-80 है, 20% है. So the whole philosophy of that is this sentence: what is the one thing I can do such that by doing it everything else is easier or unnecessary? This is the entire sentence. What, and you can prefix what is the one thing I can do in sales. You understand? You can prefix it. Now, as I said, my life got changed because of this book. December 28, 2017, Mumbai. And I was coming, and what is that time? It is around the corner. What is that time when you are in December time frame? What is that time typically? हाँ, उसमें क्या करते हैं हम? रेजोल्यूशन, है ना. तो मैं उसमें रेगुलरली इरेगुलर था. रेगुलरली इरेगुलर समझ में आता है ना? आप उसको हिंदी में काफी खराब भाषा में भी बोल सकते हैं, है ना. ये थोड़ी पॉलिश्ड भाषा है, रेगुलरली इरेगुलर, है ना. तो सब सोचता था ये करूंगा वो करूंगा, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. तो ये किताब पढ़ रहा था मैं, तो उसको मैंने क्वेश्चन चेंज कर दिया कि what is the one habit I can develop in 2018 such that by developing it everything else would be easier or unnecessary. उत्तर क्या आया? Join 5 AM club. रॉबिन शर्मा जी कितने साल से किताब तो बाद में आई है, कितने साल से बोल रहे हैं 5 बजे उठ जाओ, और हमारे whatever हमारे जो स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं वो तो कब से बोल रहे 4 बजे उठ जाओ. लेकिन नहीं उठते ना. मैं नहीं उठा. ब्रह्म मुहूर्त, है ना, कब से. तो ये मैंने पकड़ लिया. और मुझे याद है जब मैं उठा, बैंगलोर में भी अच्छी ठंड होती है, मतलब वैसा नहीं है, स्वेटर निकलते हैं वहाँ. तो मुझे याद था 5 बजे उठा, अलार्म उठा, और निकला ही नहीं जा रहा, बड़ा कष्ट हो रहा है। तो बॉडी बोल रही है क्या घुसे रहो, लेटे रहो। तो मन ने बोला अरे यार एक काम तो तुम्हें करने को बोला है, एक तो कर लो। उठ गया और फिर सोचा अब क्या करें, उठ तो गए, कुछ सब तो सो रहे, बाकी लोग एवरीबडी स्लीपिंग, व्हाट विल आई डू। तो सामने किताब की हमारी एक, आई हैव अ लाइब्रेरी, सर आपकी छोटी लाइब्रेरी है लेकिन है घर में, वो लाइब्रेरी है, उसको देखा, वो बोल रही है कभी तो मेरे पास आई नहीं, अभी कुछ पढ़ लो। तो वो किताब पढ़ना चालू किया, है ना। फिर उसके बाद कितनी देर पढ़ोगे, आधा घंटा। उसके बाद मेडिटेशन चालू किया, उसके बाद साइकिलिंग चालू किया, फिर जल्दी ऑफिस जाना। आई लिव 28 किलोमीटर्स, आई लिव इन सबर्ब्स ऑफ बैंगलोर। ऑफिस जल्दी जाना चालू किया, आई विल बी फर्स्ट पर्सन टू रीच अराउंड 7:55 AM. I'll start at 6:45. And I'll come first person to leave also. 3:30 I will leave. Around 5:10 I will reach, have tea, finish my work around 6:30. खाना 7 बजे, बच्चों को 2 कहानी. What is happening? Have you heard of something called domino effect? This is explained in much more detail in my book, Small is Big. उसकी कुछ कॉपीज हैं बाहर. Domino effect, the power of one thing. एक चीज करने से डोमिनो इफेक्ट क्रिएट होता है. तो आपने कहा ये सब तो अब सेल्स में क्या है, इसका मतलब ये सब तो अच्छी बात है, तो इसी को सेल्स में अप्लाई करना, यूजिंग वन थिंग इन सेल्स. To explain in sales, you have to understand the concept first. You can apply this in life also, you know. The example which I shared was of life. Is it clear till now? So there are 3 areas I've taken: client engagement, sales planning, team and process. And I think you guys are business students. It will help you even in your when you are preparing for, let's say, your interviews, or you are preparing for your presentations or case studies. This will help. Client engagement. So typically when we go to client meetings, we have either we don't know what to achieve, or we have n number of things to achieve. If we start asking this question, what is the one thing I can achieve in this? And you don't have to complete it. It gets automatic. What is the one thing I can achieve, such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary. Okay? If you understand, not just one thing, if you stick, it's fine. The magic of this, you have to stick to it. कि 3 चीजें नहीं पकड़नी, and it will get irritating to people around you. Like people who work with me, I'm still work with me, उनको पता है मैं पूछूंगा. Over time, they have become used to it. And initially, क्या है one thing, हम 3 चीजें बताइए, one thing, है ना. तो you have to stick to it. So when I go with to any meeting, client meeting, CEO meeting, कहीं भी जाता हूँ, यहाँ पे भी मेरी one thing है, बाद में बताऊंगा. So I'm very clear that इस meeting में जा रहा हूँ, तो what is the one thing? And it is easily implementable. Only thing is you have to battle your own demons, which is, is it clear? Now this is very difficult. इतना बड़ा deck है, इतना बड़ा presentation है ना. If I have to present only one slide, which one will I present? You can ask me, I will answer it later. Because आपका ध्यान नहीं जाएगा बाकी चीजों पे फिर, है ना. So this again, when we go for a this is actually a mindset of achieving, more with less, or small is big. Okay. Sales planning. Now, what is the one thing I can achieve in sales in this quarter such that it will de-risk the entire year? So I typically ask this question, and in one of the quarters, the answer which I got was, I have to get 60 meetings. If I get 60 meetings, it will create funnel. That is all I need to focus. So the entire focus of myself, my team, marketing team, everybody goes where? There. During pandemic, the only thing which came to my mind was, how to the one thing is how to develop EQ in my team. Because these are guys who are almost like James Bond. They are always on plane. International sales. Correct? But where are they now? I mean, during pandemic, sitting in a room. very very tough time for everybody, needless to say, especially sales guys जिनका काम करने का, it's like saying you are a doctor but you can't see a patient. Very difficult, very difficult. So that time the one thing in that quarter became EQ. And once you are clear on the EQ, you know, action items, कि क्या करना है उस EQ को बढ़ाने के लिए. Are you clear? And then what is the one capability my sales team can, this is team and process, my sales team can develop in this quarter for predictable closure? So I asked this question. One of the quarter, the answer came is creating narratives. Narratives, instead of saying storytelling, I use the word in B2B sales, creating narratives, creating compelling narratives. Correct? So these are just few examples. You understand? You know, there could be n number of things. Now, here is an example of this gentleman who is featured in the book also. His name is Ashwin Khashnish. He met me during an interview process, and he learned the one thing without even, the book was in its final stages, but he understood that during an interview. I was interviewing him, and then he implemented and then got featured in the. So I don't know whether you can read it. Can you read it in the back? Just read it, please. Right? So, you know, in this context, he used one thing on each of the stakeholders, you know, because in complex B2B sales, research says that 6 to 7 people you have to map. The buyer is not one. Complex B2B sales, it is 6 to 7. Right? So in such case, he identified one thing for each of the stakeholder and addressed it. And he closed the deal. This is an example of a Salesforce. Like when Salesforce is a CRM. You guys know CRM?
Yes.
Correct? CRM. So in CRM, you know, you have to create tasks. Let's say you have a deal called Pinnacle Industries. You are selling, let's say, loyalty solution in Pinnacle Industry. It is created, $500,000. But then you have to create task for it. What is the activity, isn't it? Is it clear till now? But you can create 20 tasks. So what we did in our CRM system, we said priority task. One thing was very difficult for people to understand. So I said top 3. You see, in the system itself, what we have done, when you create the task, you have to select it because I only see priority tasks. You might have 10 tasks, 15 tasks. I don't see it. My report only shows priority tasks. Is it clear? You know, again, in line with, you know, and then this you can't read. I have made it bigger. So these are the 3 tasks, you know, which are there for a particular deal, since data has been masked. Correct? And the one thing is this one. So it may not, in the system, there are all tasks and 3 tasks, priority tasks. When we discuss, I always, इसमें से one thing बताओ. तो जब तक CFO से नहीं करोगे ना, कितना भी पेपर कर लो, कुछ ना होने वाला. You understand? Clear है कि नहीं सबको? As I said, it is very powerful, है ना? And initially, to some people, it may be irritating, है ना? But then if you stick to it, it is. Okay, now question. What visual symbol can help you remember the power of one thing? हमने बात करी थी उसके बारे में. Sun, okay. डोमिनो इफेक्ट. एक छोटा सा टैप करोगे ना, उसको टैप करोगे, पूरे के पूरे लाइन चली जाती है. सो focusing on that one thing. Here we are talking about sales. Of course, it is applicable in life also. Clear till now? Okay. We are to the last accelerator. Are you selling to a buyer or to a user? क्या मतलब है इसका, buyer और user का? जिसको खरीदना, हाँ, अच्छा, ओके, ओके, थैंक यू. What else? Okay, very good. Yes, thank you. Up. Achha, impulsive purchase or a need. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. So as you might have heard me saying, the name of the strategy is use case selling. And if you actually Google, कहीं मिलेगी नहीं, है ही नहीं, नहीं है. Spin selling, there's so many selling, use case selling नहीं है. तो उसको पढ़ाना तो उसके लिए किताब अच्छी है या फिर लंबे सेशंस चाहिए, बिकॉज उसके लिए प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है ना. किताब सबसे आसान है क्योंकि उसमें लिखा है, पर ये डेफिनेशन आपको मदद करेगी. तो उसका एक लाइव एक्सपीरियंस बताता हूं. डेकाथलन पता है सबको, स्पोर्ट्स है ना, डेकाथलन. सो आई थिंक अराउंड 7-8 साल पहले डेकाथलन में मेरा बर्थडे आ रहा था. तो मेरे माय एल्डर सन might have been 12-13 years old then. He said, Daddy, we'll give you cycle. I said, okay. We have moved to suburbs of Bangalore, Greenlands on either side, very nice place to cycle, no problem. Okay, but you should imagine I had last cycle in my engineering, which was in 98. So but it was good to hear, but just because he was saying that, so I was enthused by his desire to gift that. So we went to Decathlon, and he goes to a bicycle which was 2018 around. It was 17,000, and he said, Daddy, this is the bicycle. I was about to faint. 17,000 bicycle, all my days, past days, because I'm not aware of what is the price of bicycle. I said, I was about to move and he's holding me, Daddy, this gear, that gear, that. अरे ये क्या, पर छोटा बच्चा है, you can't. तो वो सेल्स, वहां का जो सेल्स, डेकाथलन का सेल्स का बंदा था, वो आया. तो उसने, वो मेरा लड़का तनिष, उसने बोला ये वाली साइकिल दे दो आप इनको. तो मैंने कहा नहीं, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. क्या 17,000? तो उसने बोला सर आप साइकिल चलाना चाहते हैं? तो मैंने कहा हाँ, ना कहते हुए हाँ बोला, क्योंकि लड़का खड़ा हुआ. हाँ, तो आप कितने किलोमीटर चलाते हैं? मैं सोचा कैसा अजीब सा क्वेश्चन, मैं तो 0 किलोमीटर चलाता हूँ अभी. हाँ, तो मैं बोला कितना किलोमीटर चलाएंगे आप? तो मैंने 20 साल से तो चला ही नहीं है. चलाएंगे शायद 2 किलोमीटर जाएंगे, 2 किलोमीटर, इससे ज्यादा क्या, 3-4 किलोमीटर बस. किस लिए चलाएंगे आप? स्पोर्ट्स के लिए चलाएंगे या आप रिक्रिएशन के लिए चलाएंगे? यार टहलने के लिए चलाएंगे, इसका मतलब रिक्रिएशन ही है, रिक्रिएशन के लिए चलाएंगे. अच्छा, तो आप रिक्रिएशन के लिए चलाएंगे और आप 3 से 4 किलोमीटर चलाएंगे, तो आपको इस गाड़ी की जरूरत नहीं है. ये जो आपको ये वाली गाड़ी है जो 8,000. पहले तो वो देख के मुझे लड़का बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि 8,000 पे आ गया कि कहाँ 17,000 कहाँ 8,000. तो मैंने कहा हाँ, मेरे को प्राइस ही. फिर उसने बोला कि देखिए दिस द प्रॉब्लम विथ योर नीड, माई नीड एज पर द डिस्कशन इज रिक्रिएशन, है ना. फॉर दैट यू डोंट नीड गियर्स, यू आर नॉट स्पोर्ट्स enthusiast. Second is maintenance for gear, this thing is higher, which is not replicable, so you take that. This is it. And then he said 2 other, I said, then I became more curious. I said, how much maximum I can do? Sir, 8 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 8, okay, sold. So I bought it. Now, what is user buyer? कहानी क्यों सुनाई? Experience, not कहानी, experience. क्यों सुनाई? Buyer वो होता है जिसको नीड पता है. वो ज्यादातर टीवी खरीदना, ये खरीदना, नीड पता है। यूजर वो होता है जिसको पता ही नहीं। योर एबिलिटी टू कन्वर्ट बायर टू यूजर, this is very profound what I'm about to share with you. Your ability to convert, when you sell to buyer, you are selling commodity, nothing else. Sales people are not required for that. That is the reason there was a report also, death of B2B salesmen. You know, it said 1 million sales job will be lost by 2020 in US only. वो तो चला गया, 22 में आ गए, करें, because things were becoming simpler. You know, you don't need sales people. The concept of buyer or user, if you sell to buyer which the person knows, आलू खरीदने, but when you convert the buyer to user, your ability to convert buyer to user, user वो आदमी जिसको पता ही नहीं क्या खरीदना है। तो मेरे केस में मेरा लड़का बायर था। जब वो उस डेकाथलॉन में एंटर किया, मैं बड़ा बच्चे को रखने वाला बायर टाइप का था, मतलब कुछ, पर उसने मुझसे ऐसे सवाल पूछे जो नीड्स मुझे पता ही नहीं थी, कि मैं 3 किलोमीटर चलता हूं, मैं रिक्रिएशन चलता हूं, मैं ये करता हूं, वो करता हूं, तो उसने मुझे बायर से यूजर बना दिया। ये शायद आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा। एक और एग्जांपल बताऊं? एक और एग्जांपल, यूरो का फोर्स समझते हैं? नया नया मकान लिया, विला, सबर्ब्स में, बाई और मेड वगैरह लग चुकी थी, है ना। यूरो का फोर्स वाले आ गए, है ना। मैं ऊपर था, थर्ड फ्लोर पे, मेरी वाइफ चिल्ला रही है, अमित नीचे आओ। ऊपर से आने में वैसे टाइम लगता है, तो मैं क्यों आऊं? ओ डेमो देना है। किसका? यूरो का फोर्स। नहीं आना मेरे को, खरीदना ही नहीं है। नहीं आना पड़ेगा, जब वाइफ की आवाज तेज हो जाए तो फिर आना पड़ता। आ गए, जल्दी से आ गए और वो यूरो का फोर्स, मतलब मैं बिल्कुल डिसइंटरेस्टेड पर्सन हूँ, खड़ा हुआ हूँ कि अभी भाग है, और वो बंदा बोल रहा है, मैं कहा, ये मन में सोच रहा था कि ये क्या, मेरी वाइफ क्यों, बाई तो लगा ली है, मेड तो है, क्या क्यों है। और वो बड़ा अच्छा सा देखने का, उसका इतना बड़ा, इट्स वेरी नाइस लुकिंग पिक्चर। आई थिंक इट शुड बी, अच्छा वो शायद मैंने हाइड कर दिया। तो वो बोलता है कि सर, मैं सोच रहा था, बोलेगा आप सफाई कैसे करते हैं ये सब, तो बोलता है आप पर्दे साफ करते हैं। मैंने कहा कितना वाहियात सवाल है, मन में पूछा, है इतना बेकार सवाल है, पर्दे अभी नए पर्दे हैं, क्या साफ करूं? मैं उसको नए हैं, अभी तो आए हैं। अच्छा, सोफा साफ करते हैं? और मेरे मन में क्या बोल रहा है ये, सोफा अभी तो खरीदा यार, 1.5 लाख का सोफा। नहीं अभी नहीं करते। मैं आपको एक डेमो दूं? दे दो। गया सोफे पे किया, वही नया सोफा था, सोफे पे किया और दिखा दी इतनी सारी डस्ट। ओ, फिर गया उस पे, क्या बोलते हैं, पर्दे पे गया, पर्दे तो बिल्कुल 2 दिन पहले आए थे, और गया उसको ऐसे करके दिखा, इतनी सारी डस्ट। मेरी वाइफ और मैं एक दूसरे को देखा, सोल्ड। ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट स्किल है, आप समझ रहे हो। तो ये जो किताब है अल्टीमेट सेल्स में यूज केस सेलिंग, ये इसी पे काम करती है, हाउ टू कन्वर्ट बायर टू अ यूजर। ये मैंने अभी आपको वाई और व्हाट बताया, हाउ नहीं बताया। आप समझ रहे हैं? हाउ तो आपको पढ़ने से मिलेगा, मेटाफोर ये सारी जो चीजें हैं ये सब हेल्प करेंगी आपको। यूज केस सेलिंग है। तो why did I pick this is that you are business students, correct? Now, as you venture into your business career, your ability to, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are creating, you have to, your market should be user, because if it is buyer, then it will be commoditized. Similarly, when you are selling in complex B2B sales also, there might be products which will look similar, but unless you are able to unearth needs which the customer doesn't know, even it may be the same product, but the customer doesn't know. At that moment, for that need, you have made the customer user. Because if you notice, even in the example which I gave you of Eureka Force, there are many usages of that cleaner, which is cleaning the floors and all, but he didn't discuss that. He could figure it out. A very smart salesman. Those are maybe 80% usage. And that point, since you are MBA students, what is unique selling point? USP?
Well, that's makes you stand apart.
Okay. और कुछ? Differentiator. Okay. और कुछ?
One thing.
हाँ, one thing, of course, very nice. आपने यूनिक बाइंग पॉइंट के बारे में सुना है? ये टर्म इस किताब में आया था. सो यूनिक सेल्स पॉइंट होता है ना, वो इनवर्ड लुकिंग कंपटीशन सेंट्रिक होता है. जब भी अपन यूनिक सेलिंग पॉइंट की बात करते हैं ना, हमारा दिमाग चलता है इससे बेहतर है कि नहीं, है ना. जो मैंने सेल करी है स्टार्टअप्स में, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, जब आप स्टार्टअप्स में काम करते हो, आपकी ब्रांड वैल्यू नहीं रहती. तो वो जो बिकता है ना चीज, प्रोडक्ट से पहले किस पे बिकता है? प्रोडक्ट से पहले बिकता है सेल्स बंदे पे, है ना. और वो as they say, people do not buy product, they buy experience. So that in complex B2B sales, that skill becomes very important. So जब हम जो भी एग्जाम्पल हमने लिए, अगर आपने नोटिस किया हो, we were identifying unique pain points. If you notice, that person identified, using Eureka Force, identified a unique pain point of our house, which was not cleaning sofas, having dust even when they are 2 days old. You understand? So this is one important concept which we have given in the book, which is that use case selling focuses on moving buyers to users. And in order to do that, you have to focus on UBP, which is unique buying point. You may solve that unique buying point through maybe one of your distinct capabilities. Let's say the unique buying point for me was cleaning the parda. For that, he has a capability, na? But if he would have come, nahi, mere paas ye hai, wo hai, which is feature-centric selling, it will backfire. ये थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया क्या? समझ में आया? दोबारा बताऊं? समझ में आया? ये आप इस टर्म को, बिकॉज यूनिक बैंक पॉइंट आपको मिलेगा नहीं. यूनिक सेलिंग पॉइंट जितने भी मार्केटर्स हुए ना, उन्होंने इतना ज्यादा यूनिक यूएसपी कर दिया. मुझे कोई बोलता है यूएसपी में कान बंद हो जाते हैं. क्या यूएसपी? Buyer, and if you are selling to, let's say, 100 buyers, when you go, your USP might be, let's say, 3 points or 2 points, but when you go to buyer, it may be different, isn't it? And therefore it becomes a more fulfilling process and a little more harder process also, because when you say marketing has given us set of collaterals, which are these 3 USP, you have learnt it, and you go to, let's say, one retail, one bank, one insurance company, and you say the same thing. Or even with retail, one client with 100 million revenue, one client with 200 million revenue, another client with 1 billion revenue. Different, na? But that level of personalization of content is very difficult. How much content marketing will create, correct? So the sales team's ability to infer whatever are the salient features and then translate them into UBPs is the key. And that's what, are you selling to a buyer or to a user? Clear? अभी इन तीनों में से आपको अगर एक इंप्लीमेंट करना है तो कौन सा करोगे? Oh, sorry. So we discussed about these 3 sutras, na? Yeah. So we discussed about these 3 principles. Yeah. The one which you connected the most is your choice. I mean, one, in the spirit of one thing. Metaphor, okay? Huh?
selling, but.
Okay. ये अपना अपना चूज करिए, थोड़ा बोल दीजिए अपने, मेरे को सुनने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सुन लोगे ना, आप ही सुन लोगे तो क्या ना, इट विल गो डीप. Okay, with this we are open to Q&A. So the session, I will, this is my wish for you. May you harness the true spirit of sales, which is serve with authenticity, love, expertise, and smile. Thank you very much. If you have any questions on either the book or the session, I'm from Bangalore for this only. So. If you have any questions on, I didn't cover the book writing journey and all of that, because my intent was to give something which you can use in your life. That was the intent. As I said, I'm here. If you want to ask anything on the book journey also, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, she has a question. हाँ, it is audible. माइक की जरूरत नहीं है इसमें. हाँ.
Any tricks, techniques you would like to share? Any one of them, like mostly because you are from that sales background. I'm also from sales background, not a student here, first of all. So we are basically representing, I'm a business head in a company, IT company.
Achha.
And she's my fellow one. So one trick and technique that you like to share, or you have used it from your past entire sales experience, that you like to give us as a suggestion to convert buyer into a user.
हाँ, उसके लिए तो किताब लिख डाली हमने, है ना. और उसके लिए यूज केस सेलिंग पर आप अगर नोटिस करोगे, मैं उसको बोलता नहीं हूं, बिकॉज द रीजन इज इट गेट्स ट्रिवियलाइज्ड. भगवत गीता कितने लोग पढ़ते हैं, है ना, इसलिए मैं ये सब सेशंस करता रहता हूं, है ना. यूज केस सेलिंग नहीं पढ़ाता, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से उसको पढ़ाने के लिए बहुत मेहनत, मतलब मैंने इसमें बोला है, इसमें लिखा है कि द बेस्ट वे टू गेट द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ दिस बुक इज इम्प्लीमेंट द यूज केस सेलिंग चेकलिस्ट इन 10 इम्प्लीमेंटेशंस. है इसमें कि उसमें एक चेकलिस्ट है, यूज केस सेलिंग का 4 पार्ट स्ट्रक्चर है, उसकी चेकलिस्ट है. उस चेकलिस्ट को आप 10 सेल्स सिनेरियोज में इंप्लीमेंट कर दो, 10 लाइफ और बिजनेस, क्योंकि लाइफ में भी जो आप बेचते हो वो सेल्स ही है ना. जब आप उसको 10 में कर लोगे तो आपकी पारंगत हो जाएगी, या पारंगत इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग वर्ड, you will become a decent practitioner. So there are, as I said, there are 26 accelerators. Use case selling is the Maha accelerator, but there is one which, since you mentioned about the user, there's a structure called Mount Everest of needs, which is one of the accelerators within it, which helps you in identifying unknown needs. हाँ, तो वो पूरा कोर्स है, तो इसलिए कोर्स के लिए अच्छा है. कोर्स लेना बड़ा मुश्किल है, किताब आसान है, और उसमें किताब के हर चैप्टर के बाद लर्निंग एक्सेलरेटर्स हैं जो आप करोगे. फिर इस नए एडिशन में देयर आर 10 वीडियोस. सो हर कॉन्सेप्ट के बाद, जैसे वो स्कैन करते हैं ना, वो QR कोड्स नए एडिशन में लगा दिए. तो मतलब जैसे अगर आप ऐसे सिटीज में नहीं हो जहां ऐसे सेशंस हो रहे हैं, और हो सकता है हर टॉपिक के तो नहीं हो सकते ना, तो जो 10 की टॉपिक्स थे उसके वीडियोस बन गए, वो इसी में है. आप पढ़ो, वीडियो देखना है देखो, एक्सेलरेटर करो, और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात, वन थिंग, 10 जगह इंप्लीमेंट करो. तो मैंने इसमें लिखा है कि हाउ टू गेट द मैक्सिमम आउट ऑफ इट, प्लीज इंप्लीमेंट दिस इन 10 प्लेसेस यूजिंग द यूज केस सेलिंग चेकलिस्ट. ओनली देन आपकी, और आप ये करोगे ना, पूरा मतलब मेरे हिसाब से तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा. और इसके मटेरियल बेनिफिट्स भी हैं. इस किताब में, क्योंकि ये सेकेंड एडिशन है, इसको हम एक्सपेंडेड एंड अपडेटेड बोल रहे हैं, तो इसमें 9 लोगों के 9 you can call them readers in the section called Living the Ultimate Sales Accelerator. Is a section called Living the Ultimate Sales Accelerator, where they have spoken about how they have used it. So, for example, one person who's actually aced one of the most difficult, I should not share the name of the company, one of the most difficult companies, 17 rounds. She said, I learned how to sell myself. I am a technical person, but I had to sell myself as business. So she aced 17 interviews through there. There is a person who actually, from a marketing perspective, lead generation, how you write emails, correct? He shared his experience, how he has used the structures in the book for emails. There is a father who said 6-year-old daughter wants her to join judo, but not joining. And he used use case selling to influence her to join. There's a CEO from Indore who said he never knew what is one thing of his company. Once he understood one thing of his company, which is reliability, his entire narrative for marketing and positioning changed on. It is all written in quite detail. So I think my one advice in the spirit of one thing would be, please implement the use case selling in 10 places. That will help. That would I say. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Turning hire into user, that is a good insight.
Yeah.
I'm a director of a company.
Sorry, you're a?
Yes, I'm a director of a company who manufactures and export orthopedic implants.
Mm.
So in our industry, we majorly sell to distributors, not a end customer. It is not a B2C business. It is a B2B,
B2B.
business. So I'm not able to relate that.
What product do you sell?
Orthopedic implants.
So question क्या?
So my question is that I'm not able to relate means converting buyers into users because we are selling to distributors. They are not the final user. So how to catch that?
देखिए क्या है कि एक तो चीज है कि this very specific implementations of, like for your case, it's a very specific specific implementations I can only do justice when I understand it, because my knowledge, my expertise is in the structure, not in the this industry,
particular context.
in this. But that doesn't mean sales is sales. If we spend time, then my suggestion would be that once you repeat a structure, जैसे आप इसको पढ़ेंगे, आप पढ़ें तो आपका दिमाग खुलने लगे. जैसे एग्जांपल बताता हूँ, माउंट एवरेस्ट ऑफ नीड्स है. बाय द वे, हम भी what I am selling is to B2B only. Like I sell to retailers, I have sold to banks, I have sold to insurance companies, correct? I have not sold to the customers of those companies, correct? So in different industries, so retail, within retail there is fashion, there is your grocery, then there are conglomerates, then in banks, then insurance companies, and it has worked everywhere in this. And the examples which I have shared, 8 examples, they are from hiring to they are readers example, 9 examples. They're from hiring to parent to everything. Correct? So my request would be you first appreciate or just deepen your knowledge on the structure. And one structure will help you the most is Mount Everest of needs. Because Mount Everest of needs, what happens is it forces you or it inspires you, whichever words, to create in whichever segment you are selling, document the needs. I mean, if you go to any company and you say, can you please just try this? Can you show us a documentation on different categories of needs of your customer? They will give you a product brochure. But if you say, okay, known needs that are met, known unmet needs, known with resistance to change, and unknown needs, these are different. I'm just giving you a list. इसको करने में मुझे तो नहीं दिखता कहीं. तो जब आप डॉक्यूमेंट करेंगे अपनी कंपनी में, it will start giving you ideas.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, hi Amit.
Hi.
Thank you for briefing us about this. There are a lot of new things I also explored today.
Yeah.
And I'm also into sales right now. So I could execute a lot of things in my day-to-day activities. one thing, when I'm seeing this on the screen,
Mhm.
serve with authenticity, love, expertise, and smile.
Mm.
I personally find the last one to be very difficult on daily basis.
They smile.
Yes,
Ah.
because there are so many tasks. On the ground level, when I'm doing sales, it becomes difficult for me to maintain that. How do you do?
एक वीडियो है आपको विच इज सेल्सप्रेन्योर, करेक्ट? और आपने पूछा है तो मैं ऐसे ही बताता हूँ. सी फॉर मी my day, because I had enterprise sales for APAC, Middle East, Africa, entire business for a reason, and I have been doing this from last 12 years, global roles. Right? The thing, क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं? ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, डील क्लोज नहीं हो रही. ये तो बड़ी नॉर्मल सी प्रॉब्लम है, डील क्लोज नहीं हो रही है ना. पैसे की कमी है. आपने क्या बोला? हाँ, टारगेट अचीव नहीं हो रहा है ना. पैसे की कमी है. स्टार्टअप्स में होती है, मतलब
क्लाइंट नहीं मान रहा.
क्लाइंट नहीं मान रहा है ना, रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा है ना. लड़के या जो लोग हैं रिजाइन कर रहे हैं टीम के. इतना सब करने के बाद पेंडेमिक आ गया, मिल ही नहीं पा रहे. प्रॉब्लम्स का अंत ही नहीं है ना. ट्रैवल नहीं कर पा रहे, लीड्स है ही नहीं,
छुट्टियां भी नहीं मिल रही.
लीड्स भी नहीं मिल रही हैं. मेरे को आपका मेरा दर्द है लीड, आपका दर्द है लीड्स, है ना. तो दोनों एल से चालू होते हैं. तो बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. तो इसको भी मैंने लिखा है इसमें कि देयर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ सेल्स जो IQ और EQ होता है. एक एनालॉजी से बताता हूं, मेटाफोर में. आप घर में गए, किसी के घर में गए, एक घर देखा बाहर से बहुत सुंदर, है ना. आप अंदर गए, अंदर से भी बहुत सुंदर. आप रहोगे उसमें? बाहर से भी बहुत सुंदर, अंदर से भी बहुत सुंदर, रहोगे आप उसमें? रहोगे. दूसरे घर में गए आप, बाहर से बहुत सुंदर, अंदर गए बड़ी बदबू आ रही, बहुत ही चीजें इधर उधर बिखरी पड़ी हुई है ना. है तो बड़ा, बैठने की जगह नहीं है. आप टिकोगे उस घर में? नहीं, है ना. इसका उल्टा एग्जाम्पल भी ले सकते हैं, पर अभी इसी पे टिकते हैं. इसको क्यों बता रहा हूं? IQ is intelligence quotient, which is processes, sales processes, follow-up, perseverance, all of that. Even 70% of use case selling is also IQ, which is structured process methodology. Right? वो करने से घर बाहर से सुंदर आ जाता है. लेकिन EQ है ना, कि मन कितना वो है स्ट्रॉन्ग, है ना, कि झापड़ पड़े जा रहे हैं, लेकिन आप मुस्कुरा रहे हो. उसको करने के लिए कैसा है? तो मेरे लिए तो विपाशना. सो आई एम अ विपाशना मेडिटेटर. 2018 में मैंने चालू किया, है ना. मैं हर दिन विपाशना मेडिटेशन करता हूँ. कुछ और भी करता हूँ, पर वो अभी कॉन्टेक्स्ट ज्यादा हो जाएगा. पर विपाशना मेडिटेशन से उसका कॉन्सेप्ट ही यही है कि द गोल ऑफ विपाशना मेडिटेशन इज इक्वानिमिटी. मीनिंग डील आई तो नाचो मत, शांत, नॉर्मल, और चली गई तो भी नॉर्मल.